Uh,
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast, the Friday night edition. I don't know why we're doing this, but we're doing it. Anyway, it is a playoff weekend. Playoffs! It is. And we're doing it because there's a whole bunch of games on tomorrow. We got, for the first time today, we're going to play a little topic roulette. We got the real deal, reading a book. Vrabel wants to trade for A.J. Brown. Come on, man. Big Dom, the celebrity again. Oh, Mike, I don't think your boy realizes how much he made Big Dom a celebrity. Jared Verse talking trash. And of course, head coaching tracker, Kellen Moore, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Pete Carroll, and more. And Bill Belichick, guys, it's not exact yet that he's the head coach in North Carolina. There's all types of rumors flying that he didn't really sign. We're going to talk about that and more. Let's do it.
boom, boom, boom.
Hit it. All right, Friday night edition. Have stream in the house early. Yo,
What's
shout
up,
out.
Hef?
What up,
What's
Hef?
up?
Shout out to the All Dressed Up and Hef Streams
What up,
Media.
man?
If you haven't
Climb back.
seen, you haven't seen Hef Streams Media in the Climb Back series, thank God, don't. All right, no, I'm just nah, Hef, we love it. It's a great series, good stuff for sure. Check it out if you haven't already. All Dressed Up. They skipped last week because of the Commanders game. They're back online this week, so check them out Sunday 9:00. Hef wouldn't let it go down during the Washington Commanders game. So, what up, guys?
Hey, man.
What's up? What up?
We came on tonight, man, to talk about. Look, man, there's too many good games coming up. We got to talk about predictions, man. So I'm excited to talk about what's going to happen. We got Hef Streams here, who's a big Washington fan, so we're going to talk trash with him about the matchup between Detroit and Washington and a lot of things. So let's go, man. I'm excited. I really am.
All right, let's do it. First, guys, let's wrap up last week's playoff game.
Yep.
So, a lot of teams, including Mike, your Steelers. What happened, man? What is going on with the Steelers, man?
I mean, they don't have enough talent. You go back and look. It's been about 4 years since they won the division, and when they won the division, Baltimore had an off year. So, besides that, they haven't won a playoff game since 2008. Quarterback is the first position they got to figure out. It was nice to have Russell Wilson there and Justin Fields and to do the whole, Ross, we'll go find a name brand coat for cheap, but you got to go ahead and commit. You can't just go find these bargains and hope they're going to be great. And so, they got to go out, get a real quarterback and start building around it. They just have enough talent,
Tomlin toast?
No, not even close.
Nah.
Not even close.
Not even close. Yeah.
Because people know that, he's making, you've seen it year after year of him making something out of nothing, that doesn't excuse it. He's made some bad decisions, and I'm sure he probably is involved in picking some of the players. And, there's been some head cases that I think he's kind of managed that, he maybe have to take a different tone with. But overall, I think it just kind of goes higher up that they're just not bringing in the right people, for the team. I think seeing that game, just kind of made me think of the old Steelers teams that were tough, that blitzed. They usually always had like a good receiver that liked to get tough and block and do stuff like that, but still also catch a bunch of balls. They always had like a dynamic running back, like a Fast Willie Parker or someone else, a bruiser like Jerome Bettis or, any of those kind of guys that stand out. Najee Harris is all right, but he don't really stand out. And Pickens is a head case. He's not reliable. You saw in that game, he was phased out for most of the game. He came in and made cool plays, but you saw that McConkey, do what you needed Pickens to do, and that was take over. McConkey, with the whole Texans game, he was it. He was the only offense that the Chargers had, and I felt like the Steelers needed that kind of production from a receiver, and they didn't get it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, a couple other teams also lost. Jermaine, Green Bay, Jordan Love didn't look so hot, did he?
No, he didn't. I don't know if that's a tribute to our defense or was he really hurt? I mean, as far as with his hand, his elbow and stuff, but I'll take the first thing I said. I think it was our defense. They couldn't really get nothing going. And then on top of that, the injuries. I mean, Jesus. I mean, freaking Romeo Dobbs had that Martian hat on and still got a concussion. You know what I mean? So and they was dropping like flies. And then as soon as their right guard went out because of Nolan Smith, it just went downhill. So, they couldn't get nothing going. They couldn't get nothing going. So it was just a mess all around.
Didn't he get like 3 holding penalties, like right off the back of the bat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you knew it.
Yeah, he did.
This ain't going to go well. Yeah.
He saw Jalen Carter was just like, I got to get ahead of this guy.
Yeah. But they just dropping like they was dropping like flies in that game. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing you could do with that, Yeah. That was part of the game, so.
Dre, let's talk about your boy Jalen Hurts. He didn't look so good, did he?
He did par. And, listening to his press conference, the question was asked, were you rusty? He said, absolutely not. So that's no excuse for, him playing so par against that game. Offense wasn't really offense just couldn't get it together. And I was concerned because I kept looking at the replays and stuff, and I see still a lot of missed opportunities for him that he misses for his players. But again, the job got done. He didn't turn the ball over, so it was a so par thing. I think as Eagles fans, as myself, we wanted him to just come out blazing, but that's never was his MO, come out blazing. His MO was always that conservative type play. But then again, I look at, like I said earlier, like a couple seconds ago, I'm concerned about him not seeing the field all the way. He's not reading defenses. But, he said there wasn't rust. He said out of his mouth. That has nothing to do with me being off 3 games.
The question should have been answered. Are you over your concussion? You know what I mean? That's the thing. They didn't ask the right question.
Right.
Yeah, he's not going to say rust. I mean, all right, well, how's your concussion? Oh, no, I'm not over it yet. I never had a concussion, so I never had my brain rattled, I don't know what entails with that and stuff like that. But, I think, he probably wasn't rusty. And then the defense, Green Bay's defense, because they was talking about it all week. It's like, is it more Jalen or was it more that defense that's just confusing them? And the wide receivers couldn't get wide open. They couldn't get open. And here we go, back to square one. Are people calling out our plays? Just like with San Fran. San Fran last year, McCaffrey was calling out plays. And I don't know. I don't know. And that's the concerning thing. Are they figuring out our plays and nobody couldn't get open? And, that's just, crazy.
How do you feel about losing N'Kobe?
It's Jeremiah Trotter time,
right?
And the other guy, So Vic has faith in them. Yeah, it's a blow. It's a major blow because he's the green dot. He's the green dot guy. You know what I mean? He's the one that's putting everybody in place. So that's on Jack Barnes. Barnes said he's fine with it, but it's a blow, Dre. It's a blow. But I still feel as though that everybody else around can pick it up. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. But I'm excited to see what JT's going to do. JT Jr., because I know his dad is all in his ear. They're watching film on the side and all that stuff. Yeah, he's got him prepared of what's happening. I'm not saying he's going to have a perfect game, but I think he's going to have a decent, solid game.
Yeah.
Hef says, is Brown playing hurt too? No, he's too busy reading books on the side.
But they said Brown with it. Brown's knee. They said Brown's knee was messed up. On that tush push play.
Yes.
He looked like he wasn't. You know what I mean? He looked like he wasn't full speed because he could have caught that. He could have caught up to that ball. So. But they are talking about his knee is hurt. So.
But he did have full practice Wednesday and just today. They said he's on point for the Rams game. So. The book thing, man, is more of calming his nerves down, because that was some frustrating offense against the Green Bay Packers.
I'm not. I mean, everybody's blowing this thing out of proportion. I'm not. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just social media. You get sick of it, and then everybody, you got that one camera. You got more cameras in the playoffs and whatnot, so they caught it. I mean, he said he's been doing it all season. You know what I mean? Or pretty much, some of the season. But when you get more cameras, you got more cameras in the playoffs. Somebody caught it. So now everybody's blowing it up. Oh, that's just a distraction. This, that, and the other. Look, whatever it takes to just keep him cool and all that stuff. Bring a whole ton of books.
Shouldn't he be watching film though instead of reading books? Shouldn't he be watching what's going on in the game and watching the film? You see quarterbacks watching the film. You see linemen watching the film. Shouldn't he be watching the film?
You only got, I guess when you only got one catch for 10 yards and you're supposed to be called the real deal and stuff like that, I read a damn book too.
Now, I'd watch film to see what I'm doing, if I can get involved.
Well, then on top of that, I think he's hurt, Sal. I think he's hurt. They said he's knee. Yeah, he's hurt.
Well, one guy who's not hurt is the other wide receiver who's 6 yards away from doing a record. So can we talk about him for a minute? There's another wide receiver on the team besides the real deal.
Yeah.
Who's 6 yards away from setting the all-time record. So Devontae Smith, guys.
Yeah.
He's been moneymaker in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been money.
Oh, there's no question, man. I mean, to me, we got 1A, 1B. I mean, I can't say two. He's a number two.
That was all supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
How he went out and paid the monnie.
And Dallas got her. He got to stay healthy and
be
stuff.
Smooth, baby. Be smooth. I mean, I'll leave I would have left the stadium if I got swung around like that, man. You got stiff armed twice. No, 3 times. I think I'd have left the stadium.
Right.
Jeez,
I mean,
highlight reel.
He bailed out Jalen against Green Bay. Dallas did.
Well, but you got to call it. I mean, they said he called it because because Green Bay doesn't blitz a lot,
right?
And they blitzed, and Jalen caught it, and then so that's why he threw him out. That's why he threw him out there. So, man, that was beast mode right there. That was beast mode. You gotta appreciate that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the first game on Saturday night, guys. We got the Texans and the Chiefs. Saturday
I'm
night.
surprised you didn't go in on my picks from last week. Y'all didn't dog me about Baker Mayfield.
Tampa.
Just wait. That's all. I mean,
come on, man.
Only 12 minutes in, Mike.
Solely responsible for losing the game, pretty much. I mean, Sam the damn Darnold became Sam the damn.
Well, listen, man. We want to talk about both of those real quick. Because I like the Rams. The Rams came right out the block, scoring on them. They wanted more than Minnesota. Seriously, because that pass to Puka and getting that offense going, Matthew Stafford was like, "We scoring our first drive," and they made a statement. Yeah.
Could you imagine being Minnesota? You go through all those years with Kirk Cousins, having those regular season records, like 11, 12 wins, all that stuff, keep losing the playoffs, and now you got this. Like Minnesota's just got to be like, what the hell do we got to do, man? This team just,
you're cursed.
Man.
Let's be honest, they weren't supposed to be anything close to this year. Like this expectations was, they're gonna have JJ McCarthy start out. He'll have his rookie bumps and maybe finish third in the division, maybe fourth. So for them to have the record they had, now it's just the question: how much of that was legit? How much was that they had, a lower place schedule or something like that, and then seeing Sam Darnold, I feel bad for the guy because he did, look like the comeback kid, and then 2 games is like undone, like everything he did good the whole season. It feels like.
Now what cursed him was when Brett Favre became a Minnesota Viking.
Oh, man. Don't tell Ron that, man.
If he's listening, so good, like I told you, they cursed.
Don't tell him that.
Shoot!
What's up,
KD? Now
KD in the house.
I hate to say he's right. I mean,
Vikings are frauds.
They were frauds. I mean, I feel because it wasn't just all Sam Darnold. The defense that was supposed to be, lights out. They really couldn't stop the Rams, and then the offensive line just became invisible. Darnold was seeing ghosts because he was getting pressured all the time.
Yeah. Well, let's find out what happens, man. It was a tough one for the Vikings, and they got a lot of rebuilding and doing a lot of decisions to make. Do they keep Darnold? Do they not? So they got some decisions to make, man. I don't think they will, but
Darnold lost a lot of money, that's for sure.
Yes,
He
he
lost
did.
like 70, 80
He
million.
did.
That camera
Yeah.
had him on the bench. He was like,
Yeah.
oh, I messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I ask, what in the world is going on with field goal kickers this year? Like, why can they not kick extra points all of a sudden? They can't kick like 30 yards.
Everybody's
field goals,
going for
Everybody's
Yeah.
going
Go
for
for
the
fourth
fourth
down.
down. They're rusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Then you want to
Yeah.
throw them in there when you want to throw them in there when the game's on the damn line and whatnot.
Why'd you
know what I
miss?
mean? Then now everybody's looking. Why'd you miss? But stop going for it on damn 4th and 1 and doing all this. I mean, me and Dre was talking about it this week. Punters and kickers, man, they're gonna be obsolete in the next 2 years because everybody's
It seems
going
like-
for it. Everybody's
Right.
going for it, man.
It's your fault. It's tush push. How many teams did you see tush push this
Hey,
week? You
okay.
saw Buffalo do it, right? You saw they use a tight end. Then you see another team do it. I mean, everyone's got their flavor.
Everybody's got
that's-
that.
I use that saying, man. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Eagles
know?
started it up.
Man.
That's right. We
That tush
did.
push
Speaking of-
created a whole
speaking of
bunch
kickers,
of nonsense, man. Now you know what's going to happen. Now they're going to be just going for it on 4th and 17. You know,
Yeah, right.
Right.
We're going for it.
4th and 20 on their 25. You know what I mean? So that's what's going to happen.
And look, Mike,
Speaking
you don't
of
have to do any salary cap with kickers. You got enough room. Just don't
Right.
draft none, don't hire none.
Yeah,
They
they like
off the
to
street.
they like to draft kickers like in the first round, Sam.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Moody.
Kickers, man. That what you call it?
Yeah.
Washington. You were watching this kicker, man. If they was, 3 yards back, he would have missed that kick.
Oh, yeah.
That thing. I mean, it was like, I don't know how it was only like a 30-yard kick or something like that. I was like, I don't know how he hit the post and had to bank shot it in, but man, that was wild.
The best was the sound effect. It was like boom, boom.
Oh man.
I don't know why it's that damn loud too. Like I was like,
It's hollow
in the
inside.
goalpost. I
Is
mean,
it hollow?
It's like
hollow. Inside.
but still, it's like a gong, man.
Total reject. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Tuning fork or something. I mean, it's like, dang.
And what cracks me
Man.
up too, when you hear that bong and you see like maybe Dan Quinn.
Yeah. Oh
It's
man.
loud. I mean, it's like an explosion on TV. It's like, oh.
He
Oh,
said
my
OCD.
God. Yeah, it is, man. I'm telling you. All right, so we got 2 games Saturday. The first one we were just about to talk about, Houston at KC, and then the second one, obviously, Washington at Detroit. Nobody cares about Washington. Let's talk about the first one, KC.
So work off of me, guys. Remember, I said a couple weeks ago, we know that Kansas City has some, 8-9 games that they just won. But I just what I'm saying is I can't see nobody beating them, man. Something always happens when they just win. What's up?
I think their time is up. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
I think their time is up.
To the Texans?
I can't see to the Texans. No,
Yeah.
not to the Texans.
Well,
Nah,
that's
but
what
I
I'm saying.
think as they when they get into that chair, their time is up. Their time is up.
Man.
Enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like you said, Dre, 8 or 9 wins, and a lot of them, half of them, more than half is controversial. You know what I mean? So it's like, whoa, So I don't know. I just see their time is up. That's all, because I really don't see anything this year. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had an off. To be honest, he had an off year this year.
Off year, big
Yeah.
time. More interceptions he ever had.
Yeah.
What if Mixon runs it into the ground? They still can't beat the Chiefs?
No, man. Mixon is doubtful. He hurt himself in practice Wednesday.
Oh, jeez.
And it's serious. It's like a game time decision that he's going to play.
Well, then they're not going to win
I
that game.
I can't see them not playing. Unless
Yeah.
he's seriously hurt.
Yeah.
Well,
the guy has to come in.
From the reports from Wednesday and also today, he is doubtful or
Well,
questionable.
like-
He's questionable.
Like Greg would ask, is he hurt or is he injured?
He hurt her. There
Yeah,
you go,
'cause
baby. Yep.
Mixon's the glue. I mean, it's going to be CJ Stroud. He's going to have to find that CJ Stroud from last year in the playoffs, his rookie year. And
Nico?
come out. Well, that's a good thing we got Nico Collins. I mean, he's back, and you can see that they needed him. It's a shame that Tank Dell's career, series season injury. But man, it's Kansas City. It's just Houston's going to lose to Kansas City. I can't see Kansas City losing to Houston to be like the upset of the week.
Well, they'll shock the world. They will shock the world.
I don't know, man.
They will shock the whole world. Will shake.
Any of our four of us think that the Texans are going to win? Does any of us think
No,
they're going to win?
I don't.
I think they're going to give them a good fight.
I will say this: the Chiefs are going to win, but there is not water in this cup. There's something else. So knowing that, I'm just going to say 2 interceptions for Mahomes. Tommy Fairbear kicks a game-winning field goal from like 50-plus yards, and the upset happens.
Woo!
All right.
Woo!
What's in that cup?
Not water.
He said,
Little moonshine going on down
So
there.
Mixon is going to play. Okay, but is he going to be 100%? I don't. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing's 100%, right, Jermaine?
Oh, 99.9.
99.9%.
Yeah.
Mr.
100%.
Jermaine with his percentages.
All right.
I did go back and look at the stats from the last time they played, and
remember that?
CJ Stroud did have a good number of yards. I mean, it's just his turnovers was the big difference. Stroud had 2 interceptions and Mahomes had none. The running games
they was
were
up, right?
equal.
They was up at one point.
Yeah. I mean, the running games were
okay.
mid. I mean, like both of them had like 50-something yards rushing, so it was just turnovers were the difference. So if Stroud will have to play lights out. I mean, this is one of those. Okay, if you're elite, or trying to announce yourself as being elite, this is the game to be that person. They said the forecast is going to be 20 degrees with a feel of 10 degrees with the windshield. So it's going to be cold as I don't know, So now that favors Kansas City. I mean, that's their thing,
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Arrowhead Stadium. Yeah.
all right. Well, we all think they're Universal. Let's get to Washington and Detroit. Guys, Washington's playing with like house money. They're just like, yeah, we don't care. We're just having fun with this thing. Detroit at home got the bye week. A little more pressure on them than Washington has. So what do you think, guys? Dre, we'll start with you. Be nice, Hef says.
Well, it's going to come down to 4th downs. We all know that. Dan likes to get Dan Quinn and Dan Campbell like to gamble. It's going to be Daniels' arm. Daniels has shown that he's the most actually like statistically like a rookie in NFL history. Be playing where he is and what he's playing, how he's playing. There's some other stats they said about rookie touchdowns, more rookie touchdowns than any quarterback that was a rookie during the NFL history. Now, let's talk about Detroit. Detroit, to me, man, I seen some weird like holes. What I mean by holes, not like defense or offense, but the way the momentum goes and what happens. It's like they get like they come off steaming, and then all of a sudden they stop. Right? Washington is going in with total confidence with 2 chips on their shoulder, not 1 but 2, and I think Washington can feel like they're looking past how Detroit is when they are a machine, and I'm actually leaning for this is going to be the upset of this season division that Washington can beat Detroit. I don't want them to, but I really think they are. I like Daniels. I see Daniels to me best 4th quarter 2 comeback rookie in NFL history. Nobody has done better 4th quarter comebacks than him. It's like 8 or something like that. So, man, I'm excited more about this game than the Houston's game for the Saturday, the games. So,
Mike, you down with Jaden RG3?
I think he's a different animal to RG3. I think he's definitely, got a lot more of a future, I think, ahead of him because he, can throw the ball, doesn't turn the ball over, all that kind of stuff. But that being said, I just had this feeling, we've kind of seen this show before, and, the Cinderella team, the whole team that's been feeling good, that's a great story. And Jaden is a great story. But, man, I just feel like you're just going to see just the firepower of Detroit. You're just going to be in awe of it. You're just be like, damn, this is nothing you can do about it. And I just feel like it's just going to be too much. And I don't think this game's going to be close. I mean, I think even with the Lions defense, which has got a lot of banged up people, I think, Aaron Glenn will have them, set up enough to not give up, the big De'Ami Brown, Terry McLaurin bomb plays that they've been hitting lately, and make it a slug. And then I think every time Detroit touches the ball, they're going to get 7 points, and it's just going to be too much.
Yeah, Jermaine, they are getting their second part of the running back back. I say the running back power, Montgomery, right? He's coming back this week. So, I don't know. Lions going to be tough, man. You like Washington? That would be you, Jermaine, with the headset on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah, my internet connection is going in and out.
Oh,
again.
okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So what's your
it's
take
all
on it?
good.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, Washington, I just can't see Washington. It's going to come down to defense. I can't see Washington's defense hanging with Detroit's offense. I mean, you got too many damn weapons on Detroit's offense. Gibbs, and then what's his name? Montgomery's coming back. So you got that two-headed monster in the backfield. And then you got
I'm on
St. Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then what's his name is he's coming to life with that speed from Alabama, Jameson Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel as though on offense that Detroit has too much that's just going on and everything. Then you want to throw fourth downs in there and stuff. I think it's just going to suck the life out of Washington, and I'm not saying that, Washington had a great year. And like I said, they're going to be tough. Years to come. We got to battle them. You know what I mean? In years to come. But, they made it this far. I mean, hats off to them. Hats off to Jaden Daniels and stuff. So that's the way I see it. I mean, I think Detroit's offense is going to be too much for Washington's defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hef actually said it well. He's like, you can't let the Lions dominate the clock, and I don't know how Washington's defense is going to keep them from doing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be too much with those two running backs. I think it's going to be too much firepower. Like you guys said, I totally agree. It's going to be overwhelming. I don't think Washington will do horrible. I just don't quite think they're there yet. I think Detroit will pull this one out. And we'll probably wind up seeing Eagles in Detroit, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So
last thing to say, it's going to come down to the fourth down gambles. That's what's going to come down. If they're going to gamble early, either one of them, like I saw last week, the team was up 3-0. They could have scored. They decided not to. They were on their own 10 or 15-yard line, and they didn't get it. So it was could have tied the game 3-3, but they didn't do it. And I'm talking about both teams. So, and then what I saw with Dan Campbell, he's got his team so numb to those fourth down conversions, they can still capitalize and still go and score. So can Washington do that if they don't get 2 out of the 3 fourth downs? To me, it's going to be that and turnovers, big time turnovers.
Well, we'll see what happens, guys. Do we want to go into the other two games or save that for Sunday, and I can do the topics here, or what are you guys thinking?
We can save it for Sunday.
All right.
We'll save the other two for Sunday.
All right. We'll save the other two. We'll save the Eagles game for Sunday. We will save the Baltimore game for Sunday. That one's going to be interesting. Baltimore at Buffalo, guys. Ooh.
Whoever blinks first.
Man, I'm looking forward to that one, too. I'm looking forward to that
one. Man.
Whoever blinks first. Ooh, that's
yeah.
Whoever blinks. Yeah.
All right. It's time for Topic Roulette. Let's start with Mike. You never thought Dre Greenlaw would make Big Dom such a celebrity. So this guy, apparently this Packers fan, comes into the Eagles game with the body cam on, right? Eagles fan starts talking to his wife, talks all this stuff, inappropriate, whatever it might be. Game's over. Big Dom finds them, gives them tickets, gives them signed jerseys, apologizes, the whole bit. I don't know, guys. If it's me and somebody's talking trash to my wife, I'm not sitting there filming. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a sign of how things are nowadays, right? But
Yeah, but besides that, let's talk about Big Dom for a minute. Man, Greenlaw buffed this guy into a new stratosphere, man. Does he realize that?
Probably not, but I mean, honestly, it was Fox that really brought him because they were, that was really the thing. He bumped into him and the whole 9 yards, and then it's like, yeah, there's that guy, Big Dom, and of course he got the name that just makes you want to make him a celebrity. Big Dom. I mean, it sounds like he's like some Italian gangster eating pasta or something like that. I mean, he's like Big Dom. It just sounds, like it's just catchy. So I think it's just made it, and then of course being with Philly, it just kind of has like a feel of this is Big Dom from Philly, and he got the look and everything. And so I mean, and in the team, it attracts attention. I mean, you got to be honest. I mean, so far, the Eagles, I can't watch ESPN without them talking about something with the Eagles. I mean, every time I get on, they're just kind of like, oh, is Jalen Hurts really going to play today? I was just kind of like, man, he hasn't said a damn word. And y'all talking about him, Is A.J. Brown, is he disgruntled? I'm just like, man, is Saquon mad about the record? It's like they can't stop talking about the Eagles no matter what, So it's like add Big Dom into the mix, Nick Sirianni's a character too, they just like to talk about him.
Blame Dre Greenlaw, man.
Big Dom Big Dom is about to get paid. It's about to get paid big time. You know what I mean? Yeah. He may look. It may be to the point that he's too big and he may leave Philly. How about that? He may leave Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, that's how his name is growing up. It's growing out.
I'm telling you, he's gonna have a Netflix special.
He may leave.
Netflix special.
He's gonna have a Netflix documentary,
reality show.
Football with Big Dom.
Yeah, football with
He's gonna own. He's gonna own that school, Dre, that you met him at. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah, when I met him.
That is getting the promotion or something like that. He's going to be like NFL head of security, not just Eagles, but the whole NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's going to be something. Yeah, he's going to be something.
Look,
have fun to know.
Look, we have to speak upon this, and me and Jermaine should know. When we went to Baltimore, when Donovan McNabb was playing, Ed Reed and all that, right? We got there, and we were in probably the 400 section, Jermaine. We was up there, remember? And there was an Eagles fans like one row down from us and just talking trash, right? Around a whole bunch of maybe like 400 or how many were 40, 50 Baltimore Ravens fans. And they would turn around hackling with the guys behind us and stuff, right? So when Donovan McNabb threw that interception to Ed Reed, all the Ravens fans was like, get this Eagles fan out of here. Like, what? What's with us? And the other Eagles, I was sitting there. We were all like in a row going like this, watching, right? And then I remember the Ravens fans behind me came up and said, yeah, I thought you would move, wouldn't you? You're not going to move. You ain't going to say nothing. But look, man.
You can't move because, Ron said, yo, y'all ready to go? The hell no, man.
No, ain't ready to go.
Yeah. No, not yet.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Hef, man, to me, you know how the Eagles are, but the Ravens, they can be just as rowdy, man. In my own personal experience, when I've been to the games and being as in there.
So they boo Santa Claus, throw snowballs, all the fun stuff they blame Eagles fans for.
That stuff. I mean, Philly's bad, man. Philly, Philly.
Oh, there's no question they're bad, man.
Throwing batteries.
And then you got that rookie coming in. When we was talking, when we was on the group text. You got that rookie coming in talking about he hates the Eagles fans. He never been heckled that much in his life and whatnot. I'm like, man, you better.
Jared
I was at that Detroit game when Megatron, guys, remember we were winning that Detroit game and we lost like in the last, in the fourth quarter, right? Me and my brother, we coming out and you can see everybody's pissed. There was one Detroit fan getting ready, like mind his own business to walk, and there was a police officer like right there watching everybody. All of a sudden you hear this, hey, you over there with that blue jersey on. Get out of here, start messing with, and they were one guy was up in his face and the cop was just sitting there looking like he ain't throwing no punches. So let him go, so they rowdy, man. I mean, I witnessed it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is I walked out of the Eagles practice facility one time with a guy who was a 49ers fan, and two people started heckling me from a car. I don't know who they were, but I
Oh
gotta
yeah.
find out who they were. You know,
I rolled the window door. Hey,
Yeah,
oh man.
That's
Yes,
funny.
I guess speaking of fan bases, I guess you got to talk about Jared Verse, huh?
I was gonna say that's a great segue. Yeah, Verse talking trash this week. I mean, did you see what Philly fans are? You saw with the Flyers this week with Cutter Gauthier when he came in, what they did to him, man. Do you really think this guy, they're not gonna come at him? I mean, he's just drawing attention to himself, man. It's just to I don't know. He's trying to make a name for himself, I think.
So
He knows he's gonna get
Yeah.
heckled. Come on.
Hey, he's a rookie, but I mean he has played pretty good. I mean he has the potential to be a star defensive player. He's got I think a handful of sacks, but definitely gets a lot of pressure. So he's decent, but yeah, that was certainly not the thing to say. It's like I hate green and white. It's like I was like, well, all right, man.
Yeah.
You're a rookie, man. I mean, you better get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't even played the Eagles yet. So
well, they did.
They did the first game.
Yeah, they got ran.
Oh, right.
Yeah, 255 yards later. That's why I was surprised he was talking. I was surprised me Genius didn't say you don't need to talk. This is we didn't really do a good job against them. It's not like you shut down the Eagles the last time and they set record on you. So
talk your trash on the field, man. Let me see you do something.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Rams. But did you know Matthew Stafford's 37 years old? I did not think he was that old.
Yeah,
he is.
He don't look 30. He don't look 37.
Yeah, he's up there, man.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about my division when I was just kind of like, San Fran is, should make a comeback. I mean, they got a lot of question marks on a lot of teams. I mean, Stafford, how many long years is he going to play? How many years is Geno going to play? Geno's in his 30s too, and Kyler doesn't ever seem to get better. So I'm like, shucks, I'm like, so, this is a down year for my team, but I expect them to do better next year.
Well, maybe Trey Lance will come back and they'll do a trade for him in the West. You never know.
Wow.
Brock's the guy. He'll be good.
Trey Lance could be Arizona Cardinal. You never know, man. He could come back and.
If he can't get into the game, I mean, hell, he didn't play. The last game of the year, what did he play? Right? Yeah. And I don't think he really did himself anything to get back into, into Starville. No, I don't think he's getting $300 million. But and that's the contract structured right. Which Jerry, you guys, we all went through the over the cap thing. It's like Jalen Hooks got a $255 million contract, but I mean, you got to wait till year 4 before you see the big number hit. So I mean, you got 3 years of still being cheap. So Brock could get $300 million and be, cheap for the first 3 years. Hell, even next year, he's technically still cheap because it's an extension that don't kick into the year after next year.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I mean, they ain't gonna have a problem for a couple of years. And by then it'll be a totally different league. Who knows the league can be around? I don't know. I don't care paying him.
This is my question. I mean, the last 2 seasons that he's played, Mike? I mean, is injury prone a factor? Because I mean, he's got these little. Because how many games did he miss this year? Like 2, 3 games,
2
or 2 games, something like that. Okay,
yeah, 2. Or
the year before,
year before he had concussion. I think he missed.
Yeah, I mean, these little things that just starting adding up, and then all of a sudden, you got the big boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, it can happen. I mean, hell, we were talking about Jalen Hurts. I know. What is that guy doing? That he just disappears and no one knows where he's at.
Well, Mike knows that we christened Brock when we sacked him and took his elbow out.
Yeah. So I mean, that was like, I mean, how often? I mean, that was just. I mean, that whole season. I mean, he could be injury prone. I mean, I think this season. He just got hit a lot. I think the offensive line just, maybe a good experience for him. Sometimes you got to take your lumps, but they got to do a better job protecting him. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You'll see it tomorrow night with Detroit. That offensive line, when Goff's jersey is clean, and you're just kind of like, damn, no one's hitting him. And it's like, it's what happens when you have an offensive line that's gelled. I mean, they've been playing together for 3 solid years of not having any changes. When you have something like that, You know.
Have fun with it. Keep drinking,
I
Mike.
can't remember if Mike's a whiskey drinker or what, but or he's got he's got Crown Royal on there. I don't know.
Keep drinking, man. Keep going.
Whatever's in Mike's cup, got
And actually, inside joke, Mike, there's a sticker on the bottom of that cup.
Man.
There's a sticker on the bottom of that cup, Mike.
Yeah.
Whatever's in this.
Nah. It's a mule. It's a mule. So yeah, there's whiskey in it.
It's a mule. There you go.
Kentucky mule. So
Tossing that down like a dry
bourbon
camel.
and ginger ale. So,
Man. He's not messing
Can
around.
I have some Sprite?
Hey, it's Friday. It's been a long week.
There you go.
Really, yeah. Jeez.
Topic roulette, guys. Going back to the real deal. Vrabel, he's the Pats coach now, and he says, "Screw it, I'm trading for AJ Brown, man. I didn't want him to go when he was with the Titans. What is he gonna offer the Eagles?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Give up AJ Brown.
Shut the hell up. That's
Right.
Come on, man.
Mhm.
All right, shut the hell. All right, look, your togetherness is long gone. All right, he ain't coming back, and Philly be stupid to trade him. I mean, yeah, maybe 3 first-round picks out.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it depends on how he wants, you know, who knows, man. But Howie don't have a lot of picks this year, so maybe, who knows? But
Yeah. But, so when did he say that? 'Cause I didn't see it. Was this like a press conference?
This week.
Or was he
Yeah,
joking?
this week.
Yeah, it was this week.
Yeah, it was this
I mean, if you're a player on that team, and I granted, there's not a lot of talent on the Patriots, but still, I mean, you're a new coach, and the first thing you come in is wanting some other players from some other team.
Like, man,
why would you
who
say that?
are you?
Hey,
Yeah.
what does that say to your wide receivers in the locker room right now?
Right off the
that?
jump.
Yeah.
Right off the
What's
that's
up?
what I'm saying. Right off the jump, you're like, yeah, you're garbage to me.
Yeah,
you know?
really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man.
You're right about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Because that'll be a slap in my face if I'm a wide receiver. Like, well, damn, well, what are we?
Yeah. What's her name? Skip. Guys, the NFL wants to go to 18 games. What do you think, Dre? 18 games.
Well, you can see it. Players are already broken up the first game. I don't think you should. I think that's too much, honestly. 17 is too much, honestly.
Well, look, my thing is, if you're going to go 18, get rid of preseason. All right, get rid of preseason. Just let it go and just jump right into it. But if you're going to do that too, if you're doing 18 games, every team needs 2 bye weeks to keep everybody healthy, to keep everybody. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though they need 2 bye weeks if you're going to 18 games, because that's a lot. So it's a lot, wear and tear and everything. And say if one team has a bye week in week 5, now they got to play the rest of the season. Oh, no, that's just me. Didn't they do that one year though? One year the NFL teams had 2 bye weeks. I thought they did.
I don't think so.
No, they didn't.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
I
remember.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's too many games. I think 17
agree.
is too many games. I mean, just some of the quality you've seen. I mean, hell, it takes 4 games just to see teams start playing competent football because of the fact there is no preseason. I mean, we're sitting there at the beginning of the season like, oh, this team looks like they got their stuff together, and then 4 games in, they're like garbage. I mean, look at the Saints. They look like, oh man, that team looks sharp, and then 4 games in, they look like garbage. No, I think it's too many. I mean, I think right now it's too many. I think the quality of the game has kind of declined some. I mean, we still enjoy it, but
Yeah.
I think you see a decline.
All about the money.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about the Colts are going to Berlin as the home team. Oh, what kind of crap is that? Yeah, or Germany as a home team. It's like, come on, man. I mean, that's too much. I mean,
somebody's gonna wind up getting killed going to these all these clubs.
Yeah.
They got 2 games in London. They got a game in Germany, another game in Germany. I mean, they'll probably have one in China soon. I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's getting crazy. Yeah. Go ahead, Dre.
No, I'm just saying, I like Jermaine said, the preseason games you should have none, but at the same time, you still gotta have some kind of conditioning, OTAs or something, to keep these guys, because matter of fact, you saw this, when they came out of the first, I can't remember what player it was, but it was like the first game he already pulled a hamstring. I'm like, what? Like, how'd you do that? Because you didn't do any OT. You didn't do any preseason. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
these OTAs and this training camp is getting, it's getting messed up as well, man, because you're not getting these people into game shape. We always talked about it. It seems like it takes 4 weeks to everybody getting into game shape because you're not hitting in practice. You're not doing nothing in practice. All you're doing is just twiddling your fingers and doing walkthroughs and all that stuff because you're afraid, again, for people to be getting hurt. So by the time that happens, all right, we survived training camp, we survived preseason, and here we go, second game in the season, somebody's hurt and somebody's done for the season.
Right.
All goes back. It's a shame. It's a shame how everything is. Stop being scared. Stop being scared because injuries is part of the game. That's the bottom line. Stop being scared. I mean, just like how Buddy and all those guys back in the day, man, they used to do those vicious training camps and whatnot. Vicious. I mean, we got to get back to that, man. I mean, sports period is, in my opinion, has becoming soft. Period. Everything.
I agree with that. That's how I feel about the NBA.
Yeah, soft.
But
what did Eddie Murphy say? Soft.
Yeah.
What was that movie? He said, yeah, they're too soft, man.
Speaking of NBA, by the way, newsflash: Joel Embiid, another setback. He's not going to play again next 3 games. So
go away.
Load management.
Go away.
Another
ingrown toenail. That's what happened. Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, I see you have comment about the old schedule, and I agree. Yeah, I mean, it did make it a lot more compelling. Because there were 16 games, and it was even. I mean, you do 8-8 was the measure, right? Now we're like, well, 9-8. There is no 500 anymore.
Yeah.
But I just think, and I hate to sound like one of those guys like, the old way is the better way, but I think maybe it's starting to grow too much. To a point where it's just kind of like, I understand the money makes you want to grow the sport and go to all these different places and have as many games as possible and try to keep all your star players as healthy as possible. But, they got to get conditioning. They got to get into football shape. They still got to be ready to play and all that kind of stuff. And, like my team, I saw Brandon Ayuk, who was a star, and he didn't sit, sat out the whole entire training camp and all that stuff. But he finally got back. He couldn't catch the ball. And then he get knocked out for the season, with that hit. And I'm just like, and then you're gone. And you see a lot of that. And I was like, I think it's just guys, you got to get these guys in camp and they need to get into game shape. And that's that.
Yep. Let him get run over like Jermaine did with Rondé, man.
I wasn't in shape.
Yeah.
Funny.
Playing around on the sidelines and all that stuff. And then, now it's game time, and you get ran over. So that's what happens.
Have comment, Embiid is a mop.
Embiid is a mop.
And he's right though. He's like one of those old janitor mops where the water's all old and dirt, right? And the mop is in there. The rope mop and it's half damped and all that, and you can't. You're exactly right, man.
Yeah. Philly's coming to Atlanta in a few. I don't know. I think March or something like that. And the only reason I'm going to the game is because I got box seats. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm going to be doing what Mike is doing tonight. You know what I mean? So
man,
turn up.
You go, you gonna be shouting. They're gonna take you out the stadium.
Exactly.
Just be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, especially if he's sitting on the bench. I'm like,
why is you playing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, guys. The next one, head coaching tracker. Kellen Moore. Rumor is he's going to the Cowboys, guys. Is he done as an Eagle?
No.
Yeah.
I understand what we were talking about before. We kind of talked about a little bit about Jermaine, but I get the whole opportunity and stuff like that. But I said this before, man. If we say we're doing very well, actually, his first year here, and look at it, we're going to the semi, and if we go all the way and win, stay next year so we can win again. Like, we got to get another offensive coordinator, do it all again. Then we're going to talk about, we suck because we have an offensive coordinator. Stay, Kellen. I want him to stay.
But you gotta pay this man big money. I mean, the reason why these coordinators be going to head coaching jobs is because of the money. I mean, the only one, and I think Mike brought it up with Spagnuolo in Kansas City. You're paying this man head coaching money. That's why he's staying. You know what I mean? Do other teams are going to do that, Dre? I mean, I don't see it. You know, so if you're saying stay, yeah, I get it. I pray that he stays. Yeah. You know, because he had an interview tonight, a virtual interview and stuff. But it's all about the money, man. It's all about the money. You're leaving millions of dollars, and he's like, okay, why am I staying a coordinator? I could be a head coach getting paid like what, another 15, maybe 8 to 10 million more dollars than being a coordinator. That's what it's about, you know. It's a shame.
And I think you also have ambition. I mean, you know, you are coaching in this league. I thought Kellen Moore might be the guy because he was supposed to be the guy. I mean, he was groomed to be the transition coach of the Cowboys, and then they had to falling out because of how the offense had performed under with McCarthy, and then he left to go to the Chargers, and now, you know, he's starting to look good again. So I'm sure Jerry's got to be looking at that whole, man, we should never let him go. And Jerry don't pay money, you know. That's the other thing you've seen. You know, Jerry's always kind of like, I don't want this to be about the coach. I mean, it's all the only coach he ever had that it really was about was Jimmy Johnson. Yeah. You know, and I don't think he liked that Jimmy Johnson got so much of the attention. Yep. Jerry wants the attention on himself, so he has to have a coach that he feels he can have his thumb on.
A puppet.
And I think Kellen is the guy that I think could be that guy, you know, where Jerry's kind of like, yeah, I went back and we brought back Kellen and he was so good to the franchise, and you know, I think this is a good, you know, but at the same time, yeah, he's a puppet and Jerry's still going to be in the limelight, and he don't got to pay him a lot of money.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing everybody's talking right now, that the only one that could probably tolerate it is prime time. You know?
No, prime time, and you know prime time is not stupid. Prime time is probably going to Jerry's like, look, this is the deal, Jerry. Bottom line is I want full control.
Right.
Sit your ass somewhere up in the, you know, go somewhere, you know what I mean, and sit down somewhere. I want and Jerry's not going to give it to him, Jerry. He's not going to.
Right. I agree with you. And I'm saying like they're saying that he be the only one that can tolerate, or I'm trying to say, that works well with Jerry Jones because of all the, you know, Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, but that's both of them with the limelight.
I can't see. I agree with you. I can't see Dion going there.
I mean, if Dion goes, it's because of the number of zeros after the first comma. I mean, you know, it's like.
But that's the bottom line.
Yeah, but you know, it's gonna come to that. Dion playing second fiddle. I can't see Dion playing second, and neither can Jerry. That's why you have all these puppets that's coming. Kellen Moore is a puppet. Yes, he's a good coordinator. Kellen Moore is a puppet. Leslie Frazier. I heard Leslie Frazier's name up in the mix. He's a puppet. All these guys. And then I heard that he's talking about he's talking to Jason Garrett, bringing Jason Garrett back. Another puppet. I mean, come on, man.
Well, did you even hear?
It's all Jerry.
Cowboys fans are going nuts.
Also,
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what I read.
Also, Rex Ryan's in talking coaching too.
Yeah, but not with the Cowboys.
No, not with the Cowboys, but coming back.
The Jets,
the Jets.
Sit his fat ass.
I mean, but that's just like Pete Carroll coming back. I mean,
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, how old is he? 76? Who told me he's
73,
like 73,
yeah.
And that's Chicago, right?
So he wants to be Chicago,
Yeah.
Hef brings up the Rooney Rule, guys. These interviews are absurd. You know damn well Anthony Lynn's not getting hired. Time to get rid of the Rooney Rule, guys, or you think it should stay? What do you think? What's your impressions on that?
I guess it's a stay, but I just think that it has to be examined as to, is it really accomplishing what it was intended to be, you know? I think we're still kind of getting back to the challenge of, you know, coaches or owners start looking for head coaches that fit a certain hot thing. And I think you find a lot of minority coaches are not in that, you know. It's just kind of like the whole deal when you had, you know, everyone looking for an offensive-minded coach. And then, you know, a lot of the, you know, candidates that are minorities are all defensive guys. So then it's hard for them to, you know, they get an interview, but you know you're not going to get hired. And then I think there's also, of course, some of the loophole stuff. Like even Vrabel, that was all a sham. I mean, what was it, Pep Hamilton? They got Hamilton interviewed and somebody else that you just kind of like, come on, that's a sham. That's what Terry Glenn was just like, I'm not even going to bother with it. I know it's a sham. So, I mean, I would like to see something done to make it more meaningful. I don't have the answers for it, but I mean, yeah, I think it has to be examined and figure out how we kind of get back on track to make it have some value. Because I think right now the value has kind of been taken out of it.
That's the bottom line. There's no value to it. It's nothing. There's no value to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Add some value to it, because all it is right now is just a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rooney,
like Hefner said, it's checking the box.
Yeah.
And you hate for it to become that, because that wasn't the intent.
No, it's not. No, it wasn't.
They wanted to get people that honestly look like us, because when you have 90% of the players on the team that look like us, and then they're not, honestly led by someone like Sal, you're just kind of like, well, there should be some kind of diversity there, some kind of opportunity to become something more, and that that's where it's starting to seem like the opportunities is becoming less and less. And then when you do get the opportunity, it does seem like the threshold to keep that opportunity is so much lower. It's like Jared Mayo, got hired and got fired. Tony Pierce got hired, got fired. That whole one and done thing seems like it happens to a lot more. Coordinated. Honestly, a lot more black coaches than it happens to anybody else. And and that has to change.
Yeah. Yep. 100 on that.
Well, we'll see what happens, guys. I don't think they're going to change it anytime soon. Doesn't sound like it, at least. So, I agree. I think it should be examined. What its purpose was, and is it producing the results you thought it would? And I would suspect that you're going to find it probably is not, and they're going to have to adjust it. So,
I mean, I think there's been some, like D'Amico Ryans, went through the interview process and stuff, and I think that was, where there were positives. I think it still kind of goes through, just getting experience and get, more than getting a head coaching job, but it's some of the other jobs too, that I think it's just, they got to examine how do people get the experience. So when they go to the interviews, it's not just that, I know the defensive side of the ball, it's kind of like, with offensive coaches, it's like, well, how come, or why were there not more candidates that were on the offensive side of the ball? What is it, about how people are getting experiences, as different kind of assistant coaches and stuff like that. That's you have to kind of go back all the way to, I don't want to say the beginning, but what career paths, what paths are people taking, and how can we get people onto those paths so they look better in some of these interviews? So I think you have to kind of examine the whole process, but that's my thought on it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens there. Let's wrap up. Final thoughts, guys, for the game this week, or I should say this week, Saturday night. Final thoughts for those two games Saturday night, guys. Again, Houston at KC, Washington at Detroit. We'll do a quick lightning round here. Dre, we'll start with you. Final thoughts for those games.
Kansas City wins, Washington upset.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. All right, Jermaine.
In Detroit.
Yep.
In Detroit.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It's that fourth down stuff, man. It doesn't matter what's between the numbers. It's fourth down stuff. They're gonna lose. Somebody's gonna. That's what's gonna happen.
Again, I don't think. Have said that their defense is underrated. I just don't see them keeping up with Detroit's offense. I don't see it. I don't see it. Unless I'm missing something, then I'll go pay attention tomorrow. But I got Detroit. Kansas City.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I hate to say it, I'm going chalk. I mean, it's going to be 1-2 for both conferences for the playoff or the conference championships. Detroit and KC, and we'll make our picks for Sunday. But I don't see any upsets coming this weekend. It's going to be 1-2.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see any upsets happening this weekend unless something really strange happened. There's a major injury or something like that. I just think there's too much firepower on both KC and Detroit right now. I do think that the championship games are going to be really interesting if it is 1-2, like we talked about. But yeah, I agree with Mike. I just don't see it happening. So, but we've been wrong before, and
Yeah.
as we know,
absolutely, yeah.
Anything-
Last week, yeah.
Anything can happen.
anything
One
can
injury,
happen.
one injury could just set everything off.
I'll come on Sunday and
Yeah.
say, I told you, Washington.
Yeah.
It's
But
been a
and I would say
strange
Washington
season.
pulls the upset, man. I
Mhm.
mean, this is something magical. I mean, this could be one
Yeah,
of those,
that's something. Yeah, that is something magical.
You know,
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
it is. It's nice to have change, but I just kind of feel like chalk's going to happen. But we'll see.
And then,
Yeah.
Hef, I'm gonna backstab you and you win when the Eagles play. Then I'm gonna let you
Mm. Well, they would have to come to Philly. Yeah, how much is that? How much does that mug cost, Mike? There's a tag on the bottom.
I don't know.
How much is that mule, man?
Made in China.
Actually, it says it's a beer mug, but yeah, it doesn't have in there. No, not made in China, made in India, Dre. Yeah, a little different.
made in
still,
India.
still third world, but second world, whatever.
Well, no, you gotta take that sticker off because it's already in the thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
Mike was on tonight.
Yeah.
He was. It was something.
I said
It
I
was
was
something in
Mike
the
was
mule,
on.
man.
Mike was on
I said-
tonight.
It was
I
something
said I
in the
talked a little
mule.
trash. You was last week at Dre. You was fired up.
Shout out to everybody who always watches us. We appreciate you. Yo, Hef Streams Media, check them out. They are on fire right now. So if you haven't seen them before, check them out. In addition to the All Dressed Up podcast on at 9:00 this weekend, I am sure that they will be talking about the Eagles game for sure. And I can say that KD is one of the absolute worst Eagles fans out there. So I'll just say that. So you thought of like annoying Eagles fans? Yeah, that's it. But anyway, shout out to those guys. They are awesome. If you haven't seen their show, check them out. If you want to check us out, we are on all of our major social media channels except for TikTok, which is going away. We will not be on there, but everything else is going to be on. We're on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We are on X. We're on Elon Musk. Wherever you want us to be, we're on there.
Whoa. You're on Elon Musk. That didn't sound right. We're on
We're on
All major
SpaceX,
apps. Listen-
man.
Listen
SpaceX
to the
is coming.
podcast.
You know?
All major.
Wow, though, saying you're on
Almost,
X doesn't actually sound good either, right?
Yeah, I know that don't
We're
sound.
live on X. There we go.
Yeah,
You
live on
did it.
X, yeah.
We're on all the
X.
major social media
X.
networks. And as always, you can email us at Jermaine, enoughsaidcrew at gmail.com. He continues to respond to emails when he actually gets them. Have a good week, everybody. Before this gets too out of control.
He said pause. He said
Pause.
pause. Come on,
Pause.
Pause.
Uh-oh. It's going from bad to worse. Look
Oh
at
my
it.
God! Yeah, get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
on,
You
Dre.
can't do no more Friday nights. That's
That's it, man.
No, let's keep doing Friday nights.
I'm coming with the mule on Sunday morning. That's it. That's,
Oh my goodness.
oh man! Now I got some
Mike come in
opening
here with
juice.
some sunglasses on
Oh, yeah.
Sunday, man. You know what's up.
He's gonna be like that
Oh, my-
Friday night, man.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, what happened?
That might be half after the Commanders game, man.
Oh man!
1-0.
You know, Hef's gonna be sitting in that room like Jermaine. We lost fantasy,
Oh,
man.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, lights out, cold.
Oh, boy.
Jacket on.
Yeah, right.
Man, who knows, man? Hey, you know. Anyway, enjoy the game tomorrow, guys. We'll see everybody on Sunday.
All right, everybody. Enjoy.
Peace.
Later.
Have a good one.
Peace.
All right.